Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne with Utze. We gathered here today to find the next opponent of Pusic by taking a look at this match between Japanese master Snow Island and James81 from Italy. Master, I said, but currently they are hovering right around 400 elo points after taking quite the downturn. So overall, I'm really not sure what to make of it. Some of this year can be explained by turn-based games which weren't completed, but definitely not all of this. I don't know what's it called. Turn into the abyss. And James, on the other hand, is rated solidly between 500 and 600 elo rating. So overall, I'd guess a pretty even match today. These two have met before, but it was 4 years ago, or almost 5 years ago even. And back then, might have been a best of 3 in some tournament. I don't really know. Else, of course, it could just have been 3 games in quick succession here. Although the timing would suggest with more than 20 minutes per game that it wasn't just for fun. Anyway, it went to James81 again 5 years ago, so not sure if that's any indication of their result today. We'll see. Again, let's quickly look for Snow Island's top rating when that was achieved. Oh, it was even 743 this year. Did I miss something? They achieved master rank in 2023. And really? 743 this year? I can't believe it. And they haven't started yet. Must have been an MTU style ascent and descent in one day. At least BGA's stats haven't picked up a 743, or don't display it at least. No Island isn't online as of now. So looks like they are running a tad late. James quite likely is already waiting. Why is there nothing displayed here? At least BGA's server problems should be gone. I've played a few games today and there were no problems at all. No misrotated tiles, no lag, nothing of the sorts we witnessed, especially yesterday, but as well on the day before. So here we go. Snow Island is finally online and the game just started. First points by taking the road, virtual points of course. And Snow Island will take the cap quite likely. Always the question how to direct your Dorito. This way, Blue would be able to attack it, but you'd have way more caps to close it, then turned to the right side, and then this here might later be threatened by a restriction from the right side or the top side. This is a regular Dorito without a shield. I think it doesn't hurt to just play it safe. If you think you need all the cards you could muster and every edge you can get against a strong player, then something like that with the shielded tile might be still okay though. Looks again like a small hiccup, because even though it looked like it was no island's turn, the clock only shows 7 seconds gone. Let me refresh once again. Yeah, so quite likely blue put in their move, but the server side didn't register it. So I have to eat at least part of my words from before. Maybe I shouldn't have sang a lot of praise on BGA here. Yeah, James getting all the straights you hate to see in the beginning. Going for the restriction here instead of continuing off the road. Okay, miss rotation again. And this is pretty interesting. Let me check the server status. Because again, I hadn't noticed anything. Well, yeah, here we go. Quick interlude. The server has problems again, which is pretty obvious by these bars with the gaps up top. Wrong order. Here we are again. So back to the game, and let's keep our fingers crossed that these problems will be gone momentarily. Because quite frankly, it's annoying for us viewers, sure, but it hurts the integrity of the game when you lose, like James here, 1 minute, because you didn't notice that the server didn't catch your move here. They for sure haven't thought 90 seconds for this move in the beginning. So first hard points on the scoreboard for James, scoring 6 with the city, +2 for the road. Not threatened that this square here might be restricted to the starting tile, still taking the best monastery square that's available, of course. This could become problematic if all these meeples over here are blocked on this square, or maybe on this one. But it's still the best monastery spot, and especially in the beginning, why not just take it? The more likely outcome would be something like that, and maybe a kill like this, and then yellow just wins a mini battle versus blue's 1-point city. Looks like there was something weird happening there again. I only saw the flicker, and there's a tiny bit of yellow frame left, and it should be solid like this. So still poor server performance. I hope the admins know what causes these problems and are still trying to fix it. Always annoying to have to do that on a weekend, but if you're running a 24/7 service, there is just no weekend for you. Yeah, blue with this, well, let me use the right color, with this field on the left side, which looks promising. Of course, there are still options to attack it later for yellow. The monasteries are sure nice. This is the third one already. With tempo closing the road, also extending their field. So in the end, all they gain now on the scoreboard will be huge for them, because they quite likely will only need to tie the field in the long run. Whereas yellow definitely needs to score some larger features here, or use their meeple majority to efficiently score. And then we'll see how this will turn out in the end. So this dagger, you could do this move. You could even go for the road Dorito and then take the road if there were still all road Doritos out there, and especially both shielded ones. At this score difference, I would have truly considered this move. Blue threatens to harass this square. Yellow goes for a rather interesting road, creating also an option to attack the main field. Here is the threat, still 2 daggers remaining. And yeah, yellow attacks the city, which is fine. Blue will close their one at the bottom. And will yellow be able to defend? And they are, so defense over here for sure. Question would be whether to attack the field at the same time, 75% chance. Again, you're behind on the virtual scoreboard by almost 30 points. I think more aggressiveness might be a good option here. And so they deferred to attack the field now. Still again the chance. This time they do it. Rightfully so. Maybe they just wanted to secure this city end here. So even if it doesn't work out, they at least have a chance to create a secondary field over here. James could try to restrict or block this square by extending the city on the right side. The problem is this would invite another yellow attack, so this here would work better. No splitters left, both are gone. And then there are only 2 big city tiles left, so this here would be a limitation, and especially this one, then there would only be 1 tile to connect there. But they go for this move, restricting the square here. So yellow can't liberate their monastery without giving blue a meeple back as well. And will they meeple this now? Only 2 Doritos remaining to connect. But it would be a good chance to take over this city. Yeah, again, the move did occur twice here. Oh, refreshing again. One of the 2 remaining Doritos was immediately drawn by blue, so there is now only 1 tile left. And it doesn't really look great for yellow. They need all the pieces here. The Dorito, the dagger. Quite likely they need a second farmer to attack the main field, and need to increase the field's value. So splitter here is a good idea. Can't really do anything else with only 1 meeple in hand. Now blue goes for the restriction. Yellow doesn't have to do anything about it. So interesting move for blue. Could consider this here, which would create this juicy 6-point road to be taken by the road monastery later. Still 2 crossroads left. They could just score points even here. There are quite a few blocking tiles out there, but still. And they opt to just take points to later close this gap with the curve, which works as well. And looky here, the more volatile approach would have worked just fine. Let's see if they bank their game on this move now. And frankly, with still 2 crossroads, 3 curves, 2 daggers left, plus other caps here to liberate your city meeple, or maybe 2 straights to liberate a monastery. I think you could justify meepling the road. And they do, even if it looks a bit wonky, but that's a road meeple. The placement spots on the first edition tiles are a bit off in some cases. Yellow closes the road and adds a 0-point farmer, which of course hopes to connect all the way through blue's road monastery into the main field. So if blue closes this road, then yellow will tie the main field. But there is still 1 crossroad remaining to more or less kill this farmer on the right side. Meanwhile, blue closed their city at the bottom and yellow drew the remaining starting tile to score 7 points there. Blue isn't afraid anymore of investing their last meeple and scores a healthy 8 minus 3 points. Yellow even connects because they need to risk it. They need to win the field. But at minus 34, unifying the fields, which would take away 12 points from blue just isn't enough. I mean, you'd score 5 for the city plus 3 as it's a new city on your field, so 8, and the aforementioned 12 points, that's 20, but even then blue would still be ahead, 14 points. And of course, they have meeples in hand and could very well attack the field again. There are options over here, and maybe even here, like this ninja, of course. The main field looks way more restricted. Maybe blue could create an option to attack here. Or some loopy things over here or there maybe. Blue could self-invade to preempt yellow's connection. Not really blockable, even if this here were restricted. Maybe it would be to the cows, which there are 2 remaining, else a curve would be totally annoying. And that's why they opt for a way simpler approach, just taking a field on the left side, leaving the cap there to be claimed by them, quite hopefully, and still having a monastery to connect. So now they quite likely secure this ruin here. At least it looks unlikely they lose it, but there are still chances for yellow. They just need to get their hands on the Dorito and then could attack the city up top as mentioned. In combination with taking over the main field and closing their own city, this could all still work out. So would behoove blue to protect or kill this connection up top, as it's way more unlikely to successfully connect over here through the remaining cow. Yellow takes away another farming attack platform. But again, unifying the fields only would net 20 points for yellow, so still not enough. Misrotation again, yeah. And let's hope they notice that the move wasn't executed, because time is of the essence here. Refresh again. Nope, still haven't played. And it's a no-brainer move at that. Here we go. They move again and place the meeple, and this time it seems to have worked. Yep, looks like it. Snow Island simply takes a few points. There is now another attacking option, which could be immediately blocked from the top. But James connects for 8 points with the monastery, and at plus 45, even though the connection with the last remaining dagger would now be worth more for yellow, as these 3 cities were deducted from blue score. It's still not enough. 29 points, and this never wins. You need the dagger, so you don't need... Oh, well, you need to attack, sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, blue added their second farmer, therefore a third one by yellow was necessary. And here is the limitation to the dagger, which yellow already needs here. So the first game will go to the Italian. The only question is how big the gap will be in the end, and if yellow will be able to draw the dagger to at least take over the top field, and they aren't. Just dumping it somewhere, and blue might just add 1 point. There's really nothing else. Could go here as well, of course. Or for the fun of it, just close yellow city. It doesn't matter at all. Yeah, exchanging pleasantries. Let's take a look at the server status again. Still wonky. Still not normally running. At least some servers aren't. So let's hope the second game runs on another server, maybe. At least I think this could make a difference. So, yellow starting this time. Not again, because blue was the starting player in the first one, right? IG. First 4 points to yellow. Yeah, the creative button mashing here in the bottom. First monastery to yellow. It's fine. I mean, in some instances, you could use a Dorito like that. This Dorito, of course, or looks like a cow, but yellow went for the Dorito option to force a mini battle, a kill here, and then take the 4-point swing in your favor. But blue gets one of the 3 remaining starting tiles. And yellow can't attack the city. They could have restricted it. And when 2 starting tiles are gone and 2 of the right-handed daggers, I think this curve here was the wrong move. You should have restricted this just for the good chance of restricting the city then later to the one and only remaining right-handed dagger. They didn't. And to rub more salt in the wound, blue even took, air quotes, yellow's road from them. So definitely not a great curve here. meepling, you might be able to connect to blue's road. No, I don't think protecting your road is the move. I'd rather protect the city because it's worth more than the killed monastery. If it's getting close, that is. So yellow might just kill this. With blue having a larger city on the right side, they more or less need the bigger city pieces, which you normally use to expand a ruin like this here. So for example, something like that. And blue might rather use big city tiles and Doritos like this. But they opted not to protect and were rewarded by getting the splitter here. Still not ideal to have two cities which most likely should be completed with the same pieces and looking like siblings, but it is what it is. They did go for it. Let's see if they'll be able to execute it. Who did it set this one up here? Both. Extender by blue, dagger by yellow, and blue took it. Another quick point with this road. And again, they threatened to run away with this game, but nice counter by yellow, taking these two monasteries, hoping for a third one. Although there's only one dagger left for this square, so monastery over here, limitation of these two monasteries would surely be played by blue if given the chance. I didn't speak about this here. Was played by yellow, of course. They happily take the mini battle win versus blue's 3-point road, and also this is going to complicate things for blue's upper big city, threatening to pull it into the abyss as well. But quite likely not with this horse. This needs to go there to liberate this meeple and add 2 points. And the farm works as well, of course. This might very well extend to the top and all the way around to your monasteries once a crossroad falls into, let's say, yellow's hands for now, because they are the side with less meeples in hand. James with the road end, which could be used over here, but given this here, closing the city would be a great chance. This move is it. They just need to risk it. If it's a risk, even. Yeah, it's a risk. Could be killed from the left side with any Dorito. And it could be reattacked or obstructed from the top. So it's definitely a risk to go here, but they need to just hope to draw preferably a road Dorito, just to close the city on the left end, as they rather use field Doritos on the right side. So for us viewers, it would be interesting if blue were to get a field Dorito on their next turn. But maybe Yellow will do something about it in the meantime. Blue indirectly protects, takes away at least some attacking, harassing, obstructing, blocking, whatever options from yellow. So for example, an extender over here doesn't work anymore. Again, someone takes an empty 8-pointer. Again, I didn't notice who set this one up. Snow Island again. So looks like they don't mind volatility at all. Could have used a meeple here actually. No, they couldn't, because they set this up earlier to attack this city, and then blue defended. And who placed the starting tile? Yellow placed the starting tile. So they could have played this one, but they just went for volatility, hoping to outdraw blue, preferably blow both for the road end and the city cap, and in case of the road end, that's totally fine, because blue needs the road end at the bottom anyway. And it worked. Yellow scored these 11 points and might add this city to their field. It's rather likely that blue gets one of the 2 remaining pieces that fit for their city. So Dorito and Diagonal Splitter would fit there. This here isn't really a limitation, but rather a protection. Quadruple Crossroad is gone, but 3 roses are remaining, which would extend the field, give yellow 4 points for the city, and add 1, 2, 3 cities on their farm. Blue seems to have problems. That could be an indication to refresh once again. And if we are waiting, it looks like there is a more serious problem happening. Let's check the server status and try again here. Quite likely we are just down. Yeah, application loading, server status wonky. Someone says something. Very helpful, G, very helpful. He just lols. BGA needs a vacation. Yeah, all these games, totally annoying. And the players, even, I mean, who on earth let them out of the insane asylum? There's nothing Glovier can do. Yeah, he's right. Just not jinx it. Well, okay, then let me present you the server status. Oh, this doesn't work as well. Interesting. Yeah, 503. Ooh, doesn't sound good. So let's try refreshing, and if not, I'd have to whip up a quick clip of my outtakes, maybe. Else we could go to Top Carcassonne and solve a puzzle, maybe. This looks like it's working again. Let's check. Server status, well, at least pages are loading, although very delayed. Let's see. 5 minutes only left for James. In this case, especially when it's pretty noticeable by everyone involved plus streamed, I would think the time limit isn't a hard one, or rather shouldn't be, because neither Snow Island nor James can do anything about it. Let me refresh again to check. Looks like it's loading, even though very slowly. Yeah. The reference to the premium account by G is because on the server status page, there is a reference to premium accounts saying supporting BGA helps. Quite likely most of the money goes into server costs, given their only a handful of folks work for BGA, or are paid to work for BGA, I should say. Quite a lot of folks are developing games and don't get paid. It's just voluntarily. Now Snow Island with connection troubles. Meanwhile, Blue played their move, killing this square. So both these monastery meeples will stay there until the end of the game. Does someone call them abbots, by the way, or monks? Monk would fit, right? Maybe I should call them monks. I know someone would like that. So, still nothing, Snow Island. And it's still James' turn. Again, quite likely, because for sure they have passed the chance to add a meeple there. Why would they? I mean, taking this loop road would just be insane. So they quite clearly have passed already and now only need to notice that they have to pass again. Oh, well. And we are waiting for BGA. Yeah, server status page loads, but needs roughly 20 seconds, and then nothing gets displayed anyway. Now it works, but I mean, was it over here? Yeah. Blue's clock is running down without mercy. But again, I hope these two are able to complete the game. And I think there won't be a clock violation. At least it shouldn't. What did I wanted to do here? I wanted to refresh again. Finally. So blue's move was executed and yellow added a straight here. Blue closed the city on the right side. Yellow got their hands on one of the critical roses to really enlarge their rather shoddy field from 6 points to quite a lot more. So it's worth 15 now, could be expanded over here to be worth 18. If blue city gets closed, it's even 21. Yellow adds an insurance farmer on the right side, preempts blue. Doing this also threatens this square. So quite a good multi-purpose option. They complicate a field attack from the top, as blue, of course, could execute it now, but then this connection square could be limited immediately from the top. Blue sets up a possible ninja attack on the right side at -22. Tying the main field could work for them, could be, in addition to their city, be enough to win this game. Not going for the field quite likely won't work. City is at 7 points, and the remaining Dorito comes without a shield, so if the city gets closed, it will be worth 16 points. That's a 9-point gain, but you'd give 1 point to yellow's monastery and 3 points to their field. So you'd rather hope to draw the splitter, which I should have noticed was already in yellow's hands. And because they are very likely to own the field in the end, they decide to take these 4 points, get their meeple back, and add not 1 but 2 cities to their field. Blue sets up more options to attack the field. It just doesn't work out. This here is also a ninja option if they just get the crossroad or a crossroad, 1 immediately drawn by yellow. This also is an option to attack the field, although now there would only be this chance, and then they need to draw the one and only remaining monastery. Again, nice setup here, and yellow takes away this option. They could have also gone over here, but then they would or should have placed a farmer there, else blue would. Or they could have separated the fields, which at the score might have been a good option. Blue connects the fields, takes away 3 points, but it's just not enough. Crossroad drawn, and blue has given up on this game. I don't comprehend this move. Just put it here. There was still hope to draw one of the Doritos. Quite likely no chance to add 2 farmers to the main field after this here. But well, at 17 points, Maybe that's just critical mistake. If they hadn't played this, it would be 20. But the left side of this field was at 21, so closing this city, not connecting this field, tying on the left side of the field, and blue could have still won it. Yeah, really hard to play on BGA. Preach it, preach it. But please continue. You can't concede. It's a tournament. Let's see if Snow Island says anything. I'm no arbiter here, so let's see. Yep, exactly. You can't in a tournament, so just go on. It'll all be taken care of. The clock violation, even though it wasn't your fault, is logged. And it's easy to track, so why not do it? It is a server issue. Yeah, I'd say just play. By the way, the game isn't even lost for blue. There's still this option. Oh, damn it. The second farmer. I momentarily forgot about this one. Yeah, it's lost. So again, this year, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. They pushed in the largest of the nails into their own coffin with this monastery. Even though it was a net 3-point move, it just quite likely never wins. And now it looks like Snow Island is gone. And in this case, I'd rather intervene than having them talk or chat rather for minutes on end. Yep. So Snow Island just takes this one on the left side. Again, doesn't really matter. There's no cap left after blue got one. This here indicates they don't really like to count. Just adding the cow there ensures blue's city won't be closed with only one move. So mild imprecision, but who cares? It's about winning a game, and if you do that with 1 point or a tie if you're the second player, or with 50, 60, doesn't matter, at least in this format, it doesn't. So let's keep all our fingers crossed for a server without hiccups. Let's check again. Looks like it's ramping up fine. And we see, I hope these two don't feel pressure to play faster than they normally would just because of this server situation. Again, I think in a case like this, a clock violation should be not leading to a loss, because there really wasn't anything James could have done. And I guess they lost at least 4 or 5 minutes. So precise beginning from both. Yellow trying to prevent anything going on the right side, so this square can't be limited easily. And by adding this straight here, you at least would have a chance to continue this and slightly obstruct the blocking square platform. Yeah. So 3 points, slightly limiting this square, which is all fine. Both of monasteries. Blue's road doesn't look really great. They need something to go here, else there will be a threat from the left side incoming. Perfect tile for blue. Really putting a huge, large city-sized banner in yellow's works. And finally, they get to continue the road on the left. And this configuration is quite annoying. Normally, blue would love to continue like that and create the monastery square. But when yellow could limit this to the road monastery, and there's only one remaining, of course, one is here, and you'd rather not do this and wait for quite likely a monastery, maybe even a curve if needs must. But the main point of contention should be this square in the middle, and blue should do quite a lot to kill this one. Yellow takes away regular monasteries, but look at that. Blue gets the remaining road monastery, and they should meeple it. Yes, of course. Yellow could immediately limit this square, but it's a 7-point monastery. You can't really not meeple it with 4 in hand. Nice limitation, forces yellow to close their city immediately. They take the road. And blue going over here ensures they have more time to solve their situation on the left side, as yellow needs to act there. Either doing this, which gives blue still quite a lot of outs to kill this square. Else yellow could have played this with still 2 horses remaining and 2 daggers over here, for example. To keep their city alive, they opted for the indirect approach, and therefore this city, and with it, these 3 meeples are dead. Yellow takes a nice city. Blue can't really do anything about it. This limitation more or less takes only away 2 out of 6 tiles, but still, if you continue here, you might be able to kill this square. The problem is any continuation like that would then easily countered in many cases by yellow like this. And in this case, it didn't even work. So yellow is ahead by 16 points on the virtual scoreboard. Blue has no big threat, no city to speak of that would score a lot of points. Might hope to draw extenders, and nice move by yellow. Have to applaud them for just taking away the most critical threat of blue with this curve. Blue hopes to go here. This is really nice. It takes away, or at least complicates, options for blue to take over the city, which would be wonky in any case, as this square supports their monastery, and you'd rather not add 3 meeples which depend on 1 square or 1 piece. And this here ensures that if blue were to attack from there, that yellow could counter immediately and maybe kill this, or if necessary, no, there wouldn't be a re-attack because the quadruple city is gone. In the meantime, blue finally got their dagger, added 2 points to their monasteries, 2 points to the road, took a 9-point field. And with this, the lead in this game. So this was a 13-point move. They also were able to close this city, which then added 2 points to the monastery and let them tie the city, so 3 points. And now it's looking actually quite great for them. This mini battle here isn't lost yet. They could extend the road on the left side. They even gain another meeple, and they for sure now have the meeple majority after these 2 yellow monasteries until the end of the game. Sadly, there is no road monastery left, which would be huge for their field, but it's not there. Yellow even goes for risky stuff like that, which could be limited to the one and only remaining starting tile with any curve. Some cases blue might even use a crossroad there, although I'd rather score 2 points in this situation. Blue just takes the city, which is a very good move. Yellow takes the road up top. This extender here just takes away chances for yellow to take this city like this and complete both monasteries to really score efficiently here. And the lead swings into yellow's favor for now. But blue attacks the top ruin, which is at 9 points. Yellow with the farmer attacking blue's 9-point field. And a crucial decision by blue here. Do you go for this move? If successful, you'd score 18 points or 19 plus whatever the big city tile brings. And quite likely, this would be game deciding. But if you miss on it, you are down 6 points. Meeples, both one in hand. Yellow might connect to your field to gain another 6 points. So it's really, really crucial. But there are 3 big city tiles with only 19 remaining. So 18 plus 1 in hand of Snow Island. And I think you should go for it. They don't. They don't, and we'll see if this will work out for them. So yellow gets a monastery, which could have been used over here. With this here, blue could have protected indirectly, maybe rather like this. Yeah, like this would have worked really nice, because then there would have been no option to totally kill this. The best yellow could have done would have been a curve to restrict it to a 50-50. But it's not to be. Blue expands the monastery squares here. Monastery squares just continues their monastery build by adding a city for 4 plus 2 pieces for 2 points. But yellow immediately snatches up the 9-point field. Now get some meeple back, which was really, really crucial. And again, 14 points on the virtual scoreboard. Blue still hasn't connected up top. And there are still options to execute the takeover. But with this straight, they threaten to kill this square, which with more meeples in hand would give yellow this nice option. Ooh, totally forgot about the road meeple here. And of course, they liberate that one, adding 2 points on the way as well. Here we are, there's a big city tile for blue. And they might just need to connect now. A way more volatile option would be this one here, to hopefully take an 8-point road. But quite likely unifying this, and no. That farmer is a mistake. This orientation is actually nice. You leave this open to take it over again, but this farmer attacks a 3-point field. And even if yellow draws the one remaining straight to connect to the main field, it would only be a 9-point field. And there were still city caps out there. There is still a crossroad out there. There is still a horse out there. So quick point scoring tiles. And putting a farmer there, I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. And this here, I don't like as well. I mean, in this case, you might just need to get the meeple back and then later connect. And it's only relevant even if anyone puts a straight there to connect these two fields. So I think blue at least misplayed this situation. The horse orientation, at least in my book, was correct. You need the volatility at this stage as you are down in the game. If precision matters to yellow, they should now kill this. It would be a 7-point move for blue to put straight here, but you see, they get it. Oh, it's not a 7-point move because they don't have a meeple in hand, so it only scores 3 points. Yeah, so G is correct. Yeah, and Steven quite likely Chang TW, right? Supports my commentary and G as well. And Otto is right. The straight scores 0 points because this field on the right side was tight and not in yellow's possession. So I don't know. The question to you guys out there would be, would have any one of you taken the dagger at the bottom to go for the double attack? Let me open the replay rather. Congratulations to Snow Island. They will advance and will be playing Osage 118 next week. So I don't know, coming days. What was it? Around 100, 110 maybe. Yeah, now yellow closes their road, takes the field, and now we have the dagger in hand. So in this case, who would go for this move here? And who would do something else like blue has in the game, supporting your monastery, trying to create a secondary field, which actually wasn't bad at all. But the chance to take this city over might not come back. It did in the game, or almost did. They didn't drew pieces to re-attack, I think, after their horse move, but I still maintain my view from earlier. I would go for this. It's a clear winning path. Again, 9 points is this ruin worth right now. One of the remaining horses comes with a shield. The other 2 big city tiles don't have a shield. So quite likely you'd score 9 points from taking away these 9 points from yellow. Then you'd have to double that because you take over the city. So 18 plus 1 over here plus 1 via the connection square. So that's 20 points from -6 to +14. I think that swing is good enough to just go for it. Yes, you could still lose. There's a cap here. Yellow could liberate their monasteries. Someone might even score that city. Yeah, so no one is interested to discuss this, then I'll just stop it. So let's quickly check if there's anything running concurrently still. I don't think so. Doesn't look like it. Later games will be covered by Otto and Alexi. I think Alexi will start at 19 UTC. I might cover Squalus Loishi if both these games matches are running longer than an hour, which could be the case, especially depending on the server situation, of course. We'll see. It would be short notice anyway. And I hear the ping, so there must be a new chat message. Okay, at least. Thank you, Kaika. So at least one agrees and offers another option, attempting to close the left city. Yeah, which would be an option as well. Why not? Either like this or like that, but this option could be killed. Then, though, yellow would also kill their monastery. And the good thing about the top move is that you'd severely limit yellow's options to close either of the monasteries. A monastery would immediately kill this one, and they would have the splitter and Dorito option, or two curves, but not anything like this option here, which would liberate the right monastery. So in this case, with the meeple advantage and only 6 points down, I actually think, apart from the attack, which I still like more, but if you don't go for the attack, this move here, on purpose, baiting yellow to kill the square, might be just a good move. It more or less cements these two monks being blocked on their monasteries. I mean, so yeah, it looks great actually. Surprise, surprise. I was too fixated on this up top to even think about other options. But this alternative, yeah, I still like it. Okay, folks, then that's it for me for now. Haven't I looked at next week's games, upcoming matches? Well, there isn't a lot scheduled, so doesn't really make sense to talk about them. Well, if you're interested, just subscribe, and else take a look on carcassonne.gg to keep in the loop. Bye bye, folks. Thanks for tuning in. See you around.